Guys, I want to tell you guys about this little boy right here. His name is Noah Cuatro, which is spelled Cuatro. That little smiling little boy right there was only 4 years old. A California couple who had been under suspicion of causing their 4-year-old son's death have been indicted on torture and murder charges. How about that? More than 6 months after the toddler was found unresponsive in a pool. How about that? And it's crazy because there are kind of two parts to the story. The first part is when it first came out, the story that the parents gave about what actually happened compared to what the police actually found out that happened. So let's go ahead and talk about this really quick. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office announced the indictment against the couple on Tuesday, revealing in a press release that the boy's father, who his name is Jose Cuatro Jr. That's the dude in the middle. He is 28 years old. The little boy's mom's name is Ursula Elaine. Let me see. Juarez, 25 years old. That's the mom right there. And they were a grand jury returned the indictment against both of those parents on January 23rd, which was only 7 days ago, for 1 count each of murder and torture in the July 2019 death of their son, Noah Cuatro, who was only 4 years old. Right? The LA District Attorney's Office announced the indictment against the couple on Tuesday, revealing in a press release that the boy's father also faces allegations that he had raped his own son before his death. There was an additional charge against the father, who you see in the middle of my screen right there, Jose M. Cuatro Jr. This 28-year-old father also faces charges alleging that he had raped Noah Cuatro, his own son. He raped his own son. He raped his own son before his son died. In addition to murder and torture, the father, Cuatro, has been indicted on 1 count each of assault on a child causing death and sexual penetration with a child under the age of 10 years old, while the mother, Juarez, faces an additional count of child abuse under circumstances likely to cause death. Yes, they are saying that this fucker raped his own goddamn son. Like, I don't understand. I don't. I really don't understand why people in this world exist like this. The bail is recommended at $4 million for the dad, Cuatro, $4 million, and $3 million for mom, Juarez. Both parents are expected to be arraigned on February the 19th, which is in 20 days from today, okay? According to a press release from the District Attorney's Office, the father, Cuatro, and mom, Juarez, are both accused of killing their son on July the 5th of 2019 at an apartment in Palmdale. Jose Cuatro allegedly sexually assaulted his own son on the same day, the statement read. Over the course of 4 months leading up to Noah's killing, the parents allegedly tortured the child, according to the indictment. If they indicted him, then that means that they believe that they have enough evidence to prosecute and win. Most times, the prosecutor is not going to press forward with charges unless they believe that they can win. I'm just being honest with you guys. So we could say allegedly, but there's a good chance that that's exactly what this sick ass so-called human being father did, right? Cuatro and Juarez took him to the hospital in the afternoon on July 5th, claiming that he had nearly drowned in their apartment complex swimming pool. And y'all will see that swimming pool here in a little bit. But medical staff soon became suspicious after they found signs of trauma on the 4-year-old's body. The medical staff became suspicious after they found trauma on his body, which is indicative that parents or caretakers are beating and hitting or somehow assaulting these children. Noah died at Children's Hospital, Los Angeles the very next day. So I'm curious, for my people that live in California, I wonder if y'all heard about this. I'm just curious. If you live in California, anywhere in the area, or if you live in LA, let me know if you've heard about this story or what you think, because I am going to read you guys' comments. I can see what some of you guys are posting in there. He supposedly spent the first few months of his life in and out of foster care before Hernandez, I skipped a part. My apologies. Let's back up. Just days after his death, Noah's great-grandmother, Eva Hernandez, let me see if I can get her picture up here so y'all can see the great-grandmother, because she seems to be a really, really sweet lady right there. That's her. That's Eva Hernandez. And she spoke with multiple news outlets telling reporters that Noah had been taken from his parents' care a number of times, beginning when he was just a baby. And I'm going to tell you guys, if DHS or DCS or anybody steps in and they take custody of children, there is a good fucking reason why they took the kids. And in my opinion, you should not just put those kids right back into the care of those parents. I'm sorry, it's too dangerous, and there has to be other options. But I'll remind you guys, I don't blame this on CPS or DCS or anything like that, because at the end of the day, it should be up to the responsibility of the biological mother and biological father to care for the seeds that they produce. So ultimately, the blame falls on their hands. Yes, this is, I can't even say if it's like another case of Brittany Big Belly Bowens, but it's definitely some shitty parenting for sure, right? The baby had been taken a number of times, beginning when he was just a baby. So that means that this little boy didn't stand a chance. He really didn't. He supposedly spent the first few months of his life in and out of foster care before Eva Hernandez was able to gain custody of him. She cared for him for 6 months until Noah was allowed to return to his parents' care. But just a year later, Jose and Ursula lost custody once more, with officials determining that Noah had been neglected. I have to read that again. Great-grandma, right there, got custody. Kid was doing fine. Parents came back to get this same kid that they clearly did not care about, and they lost custody again. I'm asking you guys. I'm asking for the people that are here listening right now. We only got about 140 people here. That number might double if we could just get more people to click that thumbs up. But I want to ask the people that are here, because I'm thankful for any and everybody that we have here. Best of Small said, why do they keep giving these babies back? Let me ask you guys this, because I know that there's some people in the chat that believe in redemption, and I do to a certain extent. But I feel like whenever you get redeemed, you have to earn it. And I don't see anything that is earned from parents who keep failing and failing and failing and failing and losing custody of their kid. To me, that's not a pattern. That is not a pattern for somebody that wants to do better. So let me ask you guys a question. Do y'all believe that if a parent loses custody once or twice, should they be able to get custody back of those children? In my opinion, I say no. I say no. What do y'all think? Should they get custody back? Yes. Should they never be able to get custody back? No. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Police documents claim that he was also so malnutritioned, so malnourished, same thing, that the boy couldn't even walk at 4 years old. 3 and 4 years old. They starved him. And I want y'all to notice, how many times have I talked about these fat ass parents? They're horrible ass parents that look like they've never missed a meal, and they starved a kid. Why is there not a starvation charge on here? I think it should be. Add it in there, even if it's just a technicality. I personally don't care. Add it in there anyway. Another stay in foster care, Hernandez cared for him for 2 years until 2018 when he pleaded not to go back to his parents. I'm going to say that again. He pleaded not to go home to his parents. That boy did not stand a chance. They didn't care. They did not give a crap at all. All right? Now, Eva Hernandez said, I told social workers, please, he does not want to leave. He wants to stay here. He begged me. He would hold on to me and say, don't send me back, Grandma. I don't know. I just couldn't do anything. I had to send him back. Noah was returned to his parents again this past November, and Hernandez cried that by the time she saw him again 6 months later, the boy was clearly in need of help. Between March and April of 2019, several reports of suspected child abuse involving Noah came to light, with one report claiming that the child had gone to the hospital with bruises on his back. The following month, a caseworker filed a 26-page request to again remove Noah from Jose and Ursula's custody following accusations the boy's father had kicked Ursula and their children in public. Wow. Wow. Sheesh. Even though a judge granted the request, Noah was never returned to foster care. The deceased boy's 2-year-old sister and infant brother had been removed from their parents' care. I didn't even know there was more kids involved. Jesus Christ. So there were 2 other children involved, a 2-year-old girl and an infant boy. They already act like they didn't give a crap about this one. Why would they produce more? I don't understand. That's why some people do not deserve to have testicles. Can we get a hashtag take the testicles? TTT. Hashtag TTT. That's our new thing now. Let's take the testicles. Cut them off, snip them, burn them, throw them away, feed them to a pig, to a dog, whatever. Because you guys know that men can continue to reproduce until the day that they die. That's what makes men different than women. Women at a certain age will hit menopause, then they can't have kids anymore. Hashtag take the ovaries. Hashtag TTT take the testes. If convicted at trial, Dad Cuatro faces up to 47 years to life in state prison. So 47 and he is 28. Yeah, he'll be old enough to still have kids by the time he get out. Hashtag TTT, cut his nuts off. And Mom Juarez could be looking up to 32 years to life in prison. But like I said, that's not even a guarantee because we won't know until the actual proceedings occur. Let's go ahead and give the fair usage. Matter of fact, that's the pool that they actually threw the boy in. That's a goddamn shame, man. Absolute shame. Let's go ahead and give the fair usage and let's go ahead and get this thing started. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Just distributing details in a newly unsealed grand jury indictment against 4-year-old Noah Cuatro's parents. Indictment charges Jose Cuatro Jr. and Ursula Juarez with 1 count each of murder and torture in the death of their son. The boy's father is also charged with a newly added count of sexual abuse against a child under 10. A Palmdale couple claimed that their son drowned in a pool back in July, but a medical examiner determined that he had been abused. Noah's death has put further scrutiny on the LA County Department of Children and Family Services, which had investigated several reports of abuse in that home.
Well, I think the answer to that, Pat, will most likely be more than some person, could be a number. We do get a glimpse into this case through these documents. Now, the state is required to release information and documents whenever there are contacts between the agency, the Department of Children and Family Services, and the families involved in these. That's what we got today. A lot of redactions, but a lot of information in between them.
This 117-page group of documents details the heartbreaking roadmap
of 4-year-old Noah Cuatro's short and tragic life. We see that Noah was taken away from his parents even before he had a name. It was August 21st, 2014, the day he was born, when records show he was placed in protective custody. The child, baby boy, is at threat of physical abuse, the documents go on to say. Another comment adds, one or more children will likely be in danger of immediate or serious harm. He would soon be reunited with his family, and from there, records show a long list of allegations of abuse and neglect involving Noah and his 3 brothers and sisters, dating from before he was born until the day he died. There are allegations of domestic violence. The father drinks and beats the mother in front of the children, one person reported, and sometimes he throws the mother and children out onto the street. This risk assessment, dated less than a month before Noah died, notes there had been 2 prior abuse investigations, one open Child Protective Services case, prior substantiated physical abuse of a child, current neglect, physical and or emotional abuse of a child going on inside Noah's home, and a staff person comments there are current concerns for the mother's mental health. The report's conclusion, neglect risk level very high, abuse risk level very high, final risk level very high. Despite these ominous findings, Noah was not placed into protective custody, not this time, and 18 days later, he died. The Department of Children and Family Services aren't commenting on this case because investigations are underway, including a homicide investigation by the Sheriff's Department. But in July, DCFS Director Bobby Cagle had this to say about his investigation into how Noah Cuatro's case was handled.
There are some red flags that I want answers on in the case, and we're working on that right now.
As it stands right now, Noah's death is labeled suspicious. The coroner has not yet released the autopsy report. Live in Koreatown, Randy Page, CBS 2 News. Back to you.
All right, thank you.
Now emerging in the suspicious death of a young Palmdale boy. Initially reported as a drowning, family members now believe more could have been done to prevent the tragedy. KCAL 9's Rachel Kim is live in San Fernando with more on what we're learning tonight. Rachel?
Jeff, we spoke with Noah Cuatro's heartbroken great-grandmother tonight here in San Fernando. She shared her love for the little boy and his history with the Department of Family and Children's Services.
I dropped to the ground. I fell on my knees. I told them, don't tell me, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear this.
Eva Hernandez tells us about the moment she was told that her great-grandson had died. On Friday, 4-year-old Noah Cuatro was taken to the hospital after his parents said he nearly drowned at a community pool at their Palmdale home. But investigators say medical staff found trauma on his body that was not consistent with drowning. So the LA County Sheriff's Department started an investigation into Noah's death, which they are now calling suspicious.
I wish that he could be still here, but he's not.
Hernandez is not only Noah's great-grandmother, she also cared for him like a mother for most of his life as he was in and out of foster care. She says Noah was taken from his mother at birth, and she began caring for Noah when he was 3 to 9 months old. The courts returned Noah to his parents, but was removed again, Hernandez says, because of malnutrition.
They told me, that he could have died, so would I be willing to take him? And I told him, yes, I'll take him, bring him.
Hernandez says Noah was with her from age 2 to 4. He was happy and thriving, but last November, Noah was returned to his parents.
He begged me to Grandma, let me stay. Don't do this to me. Don't send me back, Grandma. Don't do this. It's hard because I remember every word he used to tell me.
The last time Hernandez saw Noah was 3 months ago with his mother. She said the little boy was sad and didn't look the same.
My heart, I just ache for that baby. It hurts me so bad. I get angry because why did they give him back?
Sheriff's investigators say Noah's parents were questioned but not arrested. His siblings are now in protective custody. Hernandez says she blames the county's Department of Children and Family Services for failing to protect Noah.
They could have helped him. They could have done something. anything. They could have done something, anything to get him out of there.
DCFS says they cannot comment on Noah's case because of confidentiality rules. Now, tonight we also spoke with a woman who runs a foster care home where Noah once stayed. She told us when Noah came to them, he was malnutritioned and unable to walk. When he left, he was able to walk on his own and didn't need medical help. She tells us she's angry and disgusted over Noah's death. Reporting live tonight in San Fernando, Rachel Kim, KCAL 9 News.
All right. For the people that are asking, that's Noah's great-grandmother, Eva Hernandez, and she tried to take custody of him, and she was not allowed to keep custody because of the games that the state was playing. I'm sorry, but it seems like a stupid game to be like, have the kid, take the kid, have the kid, take the kid, have the kid, take the kid, have the kid, take the kid. When I say it like that, it actually sounds like a damn game, does it not? Because that's exactly what DCF did. Since this little boy was born, he was only 4 years old. They had him in the mother and father's home, took him, had him, took him, had him, took him, had him, took him. A number of times. And not only that, if you're doing so bad with this kid that you constantly have to take custody of him, why was there never any charges throughout this time? Because in my opinion, if you're being a shitty enough parent to have your kid taken that often, I believe that there should have been some legal charges in there against the parents. What do y'all think about that? That's beyond me. You don't just take the kid. I think you need to have your freedom taken. At some point, you can't just get away with being a shitty parent. Especially when you have somebody like the great-grandmother who stepped in and said, I will take him. Y'all go do what y'all do. I'll take him. I'll raise him. So that way, he can grow up and be something great. This fat ass, stupid ass, fat ass, and I'll say it again, fat ass, mother right there, and biological fat fucking father right here are facing anywhere from a minimum of 32 years to a maximum of 47 years to life in prison. And to me, that's not good enough. That should be an automatic life sentence because they have a proven track history of ruining this child's life, abusing him, hitting him, spanking him, all kind of stuff, whatever it is. It's weird how we're willing to protect grown women against things. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this. There's this thing called menacing. 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 You can look at a woman the wrong way and be charged. How many of you guys have ever heard of this? The first time I ever heard that terminology, watching Divorce Court TV, you can look at a grown-ass, supposedly strong-ass woman, look at her the wrong way, and you could potentially be charged. But you can have a baby boy, Noah Cuatro, from the moment he was born up until 4 years old. I want y'all to hear me. You can beat that baby. You can slap that baby. You can starve that baby. You can sexually assault that little boy, penetrating him, penetrating his small, defenseless body. You can drown him. And you mean to tell me that throughout the course of a 4-year period that you have not gotten any charges until he died? And there was plenty of evidence, plenty of proof. And the reason I say that there was plenty of evidence and plenty of proof, because they actually have to have proof of abuse and neglect before they can come take your kid. And they took this kid multiple times. That, I think, puts this story in a perfect bow. And again, to the people that work in CPS and DCFS, I'm telling you guys, some of them can only do what they can legally do. If they find out that it's something they can't legally do, then they can't do it. If the law says they got to give the kid back, then they got to give the kid back, which means we have to work harder and get certain laws changed in order to make sure that we can benefit these children. In a situation like this, there's no reason why Grandma Eva Hernandez should not have been able to keep that kid and say, fuck them parents. They are proven to be bad parents. I'll just take him and raise him. Why fight for him? Why fight to get him back just to fight him and abuse him and kill him? I don't understand that. There's no excuse for it. And again, I'll say it again, even though it sounds very, very ugly. There is a special place in hell for that biological mother and biological father. There is a corner for child abusers and murderers. A special place in hell for people like them. Noah Cuatro is in heaven right now. He will never have to worry about getting hit again, abused again, spanked again, dropped, starved. He will never have to worry about being drowned by his biological mother and biological father. The system is broken, but more than anything, guys, families is what's broken. The nuclear family idea, the construct, the social construct of marriage, biological mother and biological father, that construct is not what it needs to be. And as Americans and citizens, we absolutely have to do better in this world, even across the pond, even across seas, for people that listen from other places. We absolutely have to do what's best by the children, because they cannot speak for themselves. They cannot defend themselves against the tyranny of their caretakers, right? We are the AFC. That means we advocate for children first. And I hope that they give them life in prison. Don't even tease them with potentially the idea of being able to get out. This is your boy DJ Just Jay. I'm signing off. We are the AFC, where we advocate for children first. From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for the support. And we will see you on the next stream to tell you guys about another story, okay? I love y'all. Y'all have a good night.